So greetings, everyone. My name's Helen Selmeczy, and welcome to today's workshop. I'm here in Australia, and it's such a pleasure for me to offer this workshop here for you today. So I'm glad you can join from wherever you're tuning in. And today we're going to talk about a beautiful and meaningful celebration called Buddha Purnima. So it's a special day that holds deep significance for millions and millions and millions around the world. And I think you'll find it interesting and inspiring. So please ask questions whenever you feel inclined. And I'd just like us to take a moment to just close down our eyes and connect into this space. So when you're ready, just blink your eyes open and come back into the space here. So I'm just going to start with a little bit of an introduction on Buddha Purnima, also known as Vesak or Buddha Jayanti. And in some places, it marks the birth, enlightenment, and the passing away of Lord Buddha. And he's one of the most influential spiritual teachers and leaders in history. And so it's a day that reminds us of core teachings of compassion, mindfulness, and wisdom. So this date varies each year because it's based on a lunar calendar. So it coincides with the full moon day in the month of Vaishak, according to the Hindu lunar calendar, which typically falls in April or May. So this year, the full moon is on May the 13th. So we're sort of a day early here, but we've got the energy happening. And that's why we observe Buddha Purnima on this specific day. So it's astrologically worked out. It's not according to the date. But what does Buddha Purnima really represent, and particularly for us women, and how does it affect us? So obviously at its heart, it's a celebration of the birth of Siddhartha Gautama, who later became the Buddha. And of course, that means the enlightened one. Buddha means to wake up. Wake up. And that's what we all are aspiring to do on a daily basis, is to wake up from our ignorance, from our lack of sight beyond the veils of our conditioning and our programming. It's a day to reflect on his journey from a prince living in luxury to a spiritual teacher who sought the truth about suffering and the path to liberation. So leaving behind everything. So having everything that you could possibly think that most people would desire in life, and to just, have that decision, realizing, why am I not happy? Why am I not happy? I've got everything, but I'm still not happy. And looking at others who have nothing and seemingly happier at times than he was. So this was his lead into moving into seeking the teachings which he eventually came to have enlightenment under the Bodhi tree. So its emphasis is on kindness, self-awareness, and the importance of understanding ourselves and others. So beyond the historical aspect, Buddha Purnima is also about inspiring us to cultivate inner peace and compassion. And it's a reminder that enlightenment isn't just about spiritual awakening, but also about how we live every day in our lives. Whether it's practicing kindness, helping others, or simply being mindful of our thoughts and our actions, we can take a step closer to the teachings of Buddha. So this is where we connect to our inner guru, this guru within us. We'll talk more about that very soon. So in many countries, people celebrate this day with meditation sessions, prayer ceremonies, and acts of charity. It's a time of community, of reflection, and also to renew our commitment, our personal commitment to living with greater awareness and compassion. So as we explore this beautiful celebration today, I encourage you to think about these teachings and how they can be meaningful in your own life. Whether or not you follow a particular faith, the basic values of kindness, mindfulness, and understanding, compassion, are universal and can help us create a more peaceful world. So, the inner guru, what is this? It's also understood in Buddhism as Buddha nature. And it resides within each one of us. So the Buddha taught that enlightenment is not something external to be acquired from outside sources, but a realization of our own innate potential. So Buddha said, be your own light. So this implies that the path to awakening lies within meditation, mindfulness, and ethical living. Help us quiet external distractions and connect with our inner wisdom. The inner guru, in this context, is the awakened mind, free from ignorance and attachment. And that's such a big one. And it guides us towards compassion and understanding. So what does it mean, ignorance and attachment and the awakened mind? And as women, this is such an important time for us in the history of humanity, because we're living in a time that is going through great change and is very unbalanced. And the need for this Shakti, this feminine wisdom to come through and to help balance out these opposing, well, they say opposing, but it's actually just one. But bring it back into harmony. Harmony. And we can do that through these practices of mindfulness, meditative insight, and connecting through that to our inner voice, which guides us away from suffering towards liberation. So this inner voice is the quiet feeling, the emotional connection. It's not the loud voice that says, no, you shouldn't be doing this. It's not a great idea. It's not the voice that says, you deserve this. Go ahead and do whatever you want. It's the subtle feeling. It's the feeling in the body. It's the tightness in the throat. It's the pain in the chest or the tightness. It's the heaviness in the stomach or this gut feeling, where we're listening to our, what we know is basically as intuition, this intuitive self. And this is where we start to connect to our inner guru, our authentic self, this pure consciousness that's flowing through us. It's about trust, learning to trust this inner guidance, not to be afraid of it, recognizing that this true guidance resides within our own hearts and our own minds. I'm sure we've all had those conflicting moments where we make a decision on something and then another voice in our head will come in and go, oh, I'm not so sure about that now. Maybe I should do this. And so the ego and the authentic self, there's this little internal war going on. And it's the depth of feeling. It's that stillness, that soft voice that you can barely hear. It's the feeling. That's your intuition. That's your inner wisdom. That's your inner guru. So in Hinduism, the inner guru is often associated with the Atman, the true self, beyond the ego and the mental modifications. This is what we're just talking about, the voice that comes in and starts to question the gut feeling, starts to question the inner voice. The Upanishads teach the Atman is divine and eternal, and it is through self-realization that we recognize this divine presence within us. So self-realization is when we slowly start to peel away the layers of our conditioning, of our programming, of our culture, of our concepts, our opinions, of the stories that we've built up that we feel define our personality. So Swami Vivekananda eloquently said, the greatest religion is to be true to your own nature. The truth lies within us, and we connect with our own inner self. We access the wisdom of the universe itself. So practices such as Jnana Yoga, the path of knowledge, Bhakti Yoga, the path of devotion, and Karma Yoga, the path of selfless action, are ways to turn inward and to listen to our inner voice. This inner guru, this divine consciousness, guiding us to live ethically, love universally, and realize our highest potential. So whether we see the inner guru as Buddha nature or the Atman, the core idea is that the divine and wisdom we seek are already inside of us. External teachers and scriptures are aids. They illuminate the path. But the true guide resides within us. So in today's fast-paced, often chaotic world, we seek guidance all of the time outside of ourselves. We're looking for advice. We're looking on social media for quotes and inspiration from everybody else. We're seeking all kinds of expensive courses and looking for some kind of guru out there that's going to really take us on our path. And there are amazing teachers, of course. But we also have within us the greatest power, our inner wisdom, our inner compassion, and our inner clarity. Cultivating this inner connection is the essence of spiritual growth. So what are some practical steps that you can take to connect with your inner guru? Most important one, I feel personally, is meditation and mindfulness. Because this regular practice of quietening external noise, shutting out the outside chaos, and really listening to our own inner dialogue. And then even going beneath that and connecting to that silence and seeing what arises in that depth of silence and stillness. And then we have self-reflection. So this is kind of like a bit like daydreaming. It's spending time in silent contemplation with our true nature and beyond our ego, just being present with ourselves, being there honestly, authentically with ourselves. Then there's ethical living. So of course it's following principles that align with our inner wisdom. It's working through the yamas and the niyamas, that type of thing. It's really working with this, principles of truth, not hurting others, not lying, not stealing, all of those, being respectful. And of course, inner silence is this creating space for inner clarity, inner silence daily. And this is where your inner guru speaks to you. And remembering the most profound teacher resides within us. So trusting in our inner guidance. And this comes up again and again. And it's one of the most difficult things to do. It's easy to say, but it's very difficult to trust our inner guidance. And that's really where it's at. To nurture that with love and discipline. So discipline is another thing, having a commitment to show up for yourself. Because as women, we can get so distracted by others, and we can get so caught up in others' versions of us. And this is really important. And it's something I'm incredibly passionate about, is encouraging women to be really tapping into their authenticity. Not what you feel that you are expected is expected of you. Because we're always trying to please others. Most women are always looking to please others, to be liked, to be loved. And we sacrifice our own truth very often in that practice. And we also get distracted and get caught on other people's paths. Our lovers, our husbands, what we should and shouldn't do. Oh, he won't like that. Or he doesn't like that. I'm not going to take up dancing because my husband doesn't like me doing it. So there's all these things we have to really listen to our inner wisdom, what our soul is calling for, what our inner guru is calling for. Because when we deny these callings and live other people's lives, we can end up becoming very unwell, either physically or mentally or spiritually or all three. We can create physical illness. We can create mental illness through not being true to ourselves. We can lose our voice. We can get to a point where we no longer speak out because we feel we'll be ridiculed. What will people think? You have to get to a point where you don't care what anyone else thinks. It's your truth, your calling, your inner guru. So remembering again, the most profound teacher resides within you. Trust your inner guidance. Nurture it with love and with discipline. And it will lead you to peace, wisdom, and a state of enlightenment. And enlightenment is our own waking up. It's not someplace out there. It's not somewhere you're going to. It is already within us, buried underneath these layers of stories, of opinions, of trying to please others, however that is, veiled by all of these different aspects of our lives. So in the words of the Buddha, look within. Thou art the Buddha. And that's for both male and female. And from the Upanishads, the very famous quote, you are that, the divine essence, Buddha Purnima. So just a couple of little breath techniques we're going to do just to come into a space as we start to go deeper into the session. Has anyone any questions they would like to put in the chat box? Feel free to please put those in, and we'll get to those. So a little bit breath technique. I'm just going to get you to sit with your spine upright wherever you are. and ensure your feet are firmly on the ground. So very simply, you're just placing your hands, palms facing up. You can use a Gyan Mudra if you like, on your knees. Your focus is the space between your eyebrows. So just roll your eyes up, look to that space. And you're going to inhale through the nose, focus on that space. And as you exhale, the palm goes down, still in Gyan Mudra, and exhale, nose. Continue, inhale, palm comes up. Nice and slow and mindful, exhale, palm goes down. Full awareness at the space between the eyebrows. We're coming into this deeper state of inner silence and inner peace, inner stillness. Feel your breath smooth. Nothing is forced. Stay with your breath and the mudras. One last inhale, exhale. And after you've exhaled, release, just resting here for a few seconds. Now moving into the next pranayama. This is one of my very favorites. Several reasons. It's also a Sa Lung practice, and I believe it's one of the Dalai Lama's favorite practices. And it's balancing the right and left hemispheres of the brain, right and left channels of the body. So this is balancing our inner Shiv Shakti. So the arms are coming out parallel to the floor, just seated wherever you are. I hope you have enough space. You form a fist with, I'll just move this way so you can see, a fist with the right hand, the thumb is underneath. It's a big inhale, nose. Focus third eye center. On the exhale, you punch under the left armpit, out the mouth. The left hand comes up, fingers pointing up. You close the right nostril and you inhale left nostril. When you are filled with breath, the arms come back out parallel to the floor. You form a fist with the left hand and you punch under the right armpit as you exhale. Right hand comes up, close the left nostril, inhale right. Arms out, parallel, fist with the right, punch under the left. Left hand to right nostril, inhale left. Arms out, fist with the left, punch under the right. Right hand to left nostril, inhale right. Now go at your own pace. I'll continue so you can watch me if you get lost. Up there, sorry. On your next exhale, release and bring your hands down. Beautiful. So just take a moment in silence. Focus on your breath. Focus on any inner wisdom that may arise for you. And perhaps visualizing Buddha's qualities of compassion, patience, wisdom, and consider how these qualities reside within you. So it's a beautiful day to recite empowering affirmations such as, I am a vessel of wisdom and compassion. I am a vessel of wisdom and compassion. Inner strength and peace are my natural state. Inner strength and peace are my natural state. I honor the divine within me and all beings. I honor the divine within me and all beings. It's also a time to engage in compassionate acts. So, reaching out and helping somebody in need, or simply offering a kind word. These actions are reinforcing the Buddha's teachings and your inner virtues. It's a wonderful time to also write down goals for your growth in your life and also your spiritual growth. Reflecting on how you can embody Buddha's teachings in your daily life, be it through patience, forgiveness, or mindfulness. And it's also a good time for women to get together, which we are doing here, in spiritual gatherings, celebrating or sharing experiences and supporting each other's journeys. So that's a nice thing you can do perhaps later today, depending on your time frame, wherever you're living, is to get together and share with other women. To understand everything is to forgive everything. So focusing into some of Buddha's quotes are a beautiful way to bring you into this moment and feel the energy of this Buddha Purnima. What you think, you become. What you feel, you attract. What you imagine, you create. Then we have ones like, within you lies a divine spark, and nurture it with love and wisdom. The true strength of a woman is her capacity for compassion and inner peace. And awaken the inner light that guides you through darkness. Your inner light. So a woman's true power lies in her ability to cultivate wisdom and compassion from within. As women, we are naturally compassionate, naturally nurturing, naturally mothering and loving in most cases. And this is a time to remember that the divine and the wise presence resides within us. As women, we hold a unique power to nurture, heal, and transform not only ourselves, but the world around us. And this is so needed. The world needs this divine feminine energy, this Shakti. By embracing our inner guru, the voice of wisdom, compassion, and strength. and walk our spiritual path with confidence and grace. It serves as a reminder for us to practice kindness, mindfulness, and spiritual growth. So some of the rituals and observances that you can do on this day. So we've talked about meditation and prayer, which is beautiful. And that's, something which we will all, obviously, I feel, do. And then also if you have a temple near you, you can visit a temple, a Buddhist temple, and offer prayers, light lamps, and make offerings. But if you don't have a temple, it's a nice idea to perhaps, if you have a shrine in your own home, a little altar or a shrine, or perhaps there's a beautiful park with a nice spot under the trees, or there's maybe a lake, a river, or an ocean that you may be able to go to and just make a little offering. Offer some flowers, or feed some animals, feed the birds or something, a little offering. Very beautiful. Listening to wisdom teachings, listening to stories about the Buddha's life and teachings. As we talked about before, giving charity of some kind, helping somebody that needs some support, or some donation of some kind, or giving a little bit of your time. And again, if you have a sacred space, or again going into nature, you can offer flowers or a little bit of food, or burn a candle. And practice ethical precepts such as non-violence, truthfulness, honesty, and mindfulness. Honesty is such a big one in this world, because it's a world where we have a lot of confusion and a lot of inauthenticity, and it's really beautiful to be able to establish strong authenticity. And these are great days. Buddha Purnima is such a powerful day to do that, and the energies of the full moon. So you can also have it as a day of fasting or abstaining from certain pleasurable activities that you love to do. So it's offering. Participating in cultural programs, perhaps that celebrate Buddha's life, if you're in a situation that's available to you. And devotees often observe fasting as a way to purify the body and the mind, deepen spiritual practice. And fasting can be based on cultural, regional, and personal preferences. So there's different types of fasts you can do if you wish to do that today. One of these is just a light fasting or abstention from certain foods. So maybe today, if you eat any kind of animal products, maybe just eat vegetarian or vegan today. Maybe abstain from heavy food or rich food. Just eat simple vegetarian meals. And this is a way to emphasize moderation. And it's not just moderation in eating, it's moderation in our life. Aligning with Buddha's teachings on moderation and mindfulness. And of course, refraining from alcohol and intoxicants on this day, and then reflecting that as compassion for all living beings. So this practice reinforces the principles of ahimsa, non-violence. Perhaps you just want to do partial fasting. So it could be actually taking a vow of silence today. Refrain from unnecessary speech. And observe a partial fast by refraining from things such as sweets, or just refraining from food during the daylight hours. Or you may want to do a full fast. And in some traditions, devout practitioners undertake a complete fast, refraining from all food and drink for a certain period. Now, I think it's essential for my own personal recommendation that water is definitely taken, and also to be mindful of health conditions. Not everybody has the body that can really sustain an intense fast, but some traditions do this. They can fast from dawn to sunset or longer, and it deepens the focus of meditation and prayer. But that's something really to be undertaken if you've already fasted in other aspects of your life, and you know that you can do this quite without any problems on your health. So it's usually done also under the guidance of a specific spiritual teacher. And also fasting for merit. So instead of abstaining from food, some devotees focus on giving food or alms to the needy, emphasizing generosity and compassion. So if you have homeless people or, monks or nuns that live near you in a Buddhist community, or anybody who's homeless, maybe offering them something, giving them something to eat. So the reasons for fasting is purification. It helps cleanse the physical body and mind and create space for spiritual reflection. Obviously, discipline, cultivating self-control, mindfulness, key qualities promoted by the Buddha. And respect and reverence. So fasting is a way to honor Buddha's life and teachings, expressing devotion through self-denial. And compassion, abstaining from meat and intoxicants, aligns with the Buddhist principles of kindness towards all beings and also towards ourselves. In essence, Buddha Purnima is a time of reflection, renewal of spiritual commitment, and again getting back to compassion. So you can also chant. Chanting mantras is such a wonderful practice to do also. And the Prajnaparamita, the Heart Sutra, Gate, Gate, Paragate, Parasamgate, Bodhi, Swaha. Such a beautiful mantra that you can chant. Doing a mala with that would be amazing practice to use today. And also looking at personal growth. So journaling for karmic patterns that maybe you want to put an end to, that you want to change in yourself, and cultivate virtues for yourself. So maybe work on 3 virtues that you would like to change. Another practice is full moon water changing. So you can place a silver bowl of water under moonlight. You can add jasmine or lotus petals or any other petals that you may have that are not poisonous, of course, rose petals, and then put it out under the full moon. And then the next morning use it as a symbolic cleansing of self-criticism. It's a very beautiful practice. Obviously, sister circles, so sharing with other women is a beautiful thing to do. And holding space for those women. So if you are going to have a circle with other women, allowing them the space to have their say without interruption and then moving on. It's really lovely. Sometimes women just want to be heard. They don't necessarily always want feedback. So I'm going to now give you a little guided meditation to close our session here this afternoon. Again, if you have any questions, I encourage you to either do it now or after the meditation, and type them in the comments. And I'm going to get you to either sit back, still ensuring your spine's tall, so ensuring your feet are still connected to the ground, or if you are in a position where you can lie down, that would be amazing. And I'm going to get you to close your eyes now. And come to your breath. Just allow your body to soften and feel the natural inhale and exhale. Connect to that, the natural inhale, exhale. And as you feel this breath moving through you, feel any tension, any tightness, any resistance drain from your body. So on this luminous Buddha Purnima, we gather as daughters, sisters, mothers, grandmothers, as embodiments of compassion, to bathe the world in metta, loving kindness. Soften your brows, feel your eyes floating, and invite the sacred feminine to awaken within you. Picture above you the full moon, vast, round, pearlescent. Its light rains down, threading through the crown, filling the body vase with cool radiance. Each pore becomes a tiny moon door, drinking serenity. If thoughts wander, touch them lightly with moonlight and let them drift away. Repeat inwardly, in rhythm with your breath. May I be safe. May I be peaceful. May I be healthy in body and wise in heart. May I live with ease. Let the words drop like pearls into a still lake. If resistance arises, I don't deserve this. Cradle the resistance the way you would cradle a crying child, and whisper the phrases again. May I be safe. May I be peaceful. May I be healthy in body and wise in heart. May I live in ease. Feel the womb center warming, blooming like a lotus of kindness for the woman you are, exactly as you are. Now invite into your mind a woman who has loved or guided you, perhaps a grandmother, a friend, perhaps a deity, Tara, Prajnaparamita, Kali, Mary, whoever you choose. See her seated before you, bathed in moonlight. And repeat, may you be safe. May you be peaceful. May you be strong and joyous. May you awaken to boundless freedom. Watch how her face softens and how the light within her brightens. Notice the echo of that brightness in your own chest. Now widen the circle to women who suffer tonight. A stranger in a hospital delivery room. A sister facing violence. A refugee mother searching for food. A girl frightened of her own body. Without drowning in their pain, let the moon of compassion shine upon them and send them this message. May you be safe. May you be held in kindness. May you find resources and respect. May you live free from fear. Visualize the moonlight touching their foreheads, offering cool relief. Like ripples on a pond, expand further to men, children, animals, trees, rivers, invisible microbes. Sense the whole planet as one great breathing body beneath the full moon. May all beings everywhere, seen and unseen, be safe. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be healthy. May all beings live with ease. Now drop the words. Rest in silence. Allow the felt field of loving kindness to glow on its own. Wordless, boundless. You are not generating love. You are swimming in it. Imagine each inhalation drawing moon nectar into your heart, and each exhalation sending gentle light back into the world. Now slowly bring your palms together at the heart center. Whatever goodness has arisen here, we offer it to all mothers, daughters, sisters across time, to the wounded and the healers, to the earth herself. May this merit support long life, beauty of soul, happiness and strength in all beings. Picture the globe wrapped in a silvery shawl of loving kindness. Bow your head softly to your heart. Feel the floor beneath you or the seat you're on. Have an awareness of sounds around you. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and carry the moon of Metta into every step, every glance, every word. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, as you come back into this space, I'd like to invite you at some point during your day, tonight, write a one-sentence blessing for a woman that you know and place it under a small bowl of water overnight in the moonlight as a tangible continuation of the practice. Thank you. So we've got some questions, which I'm going to just have a look at the chat now. Here we go, I've got them up. Okay. So this one is, I was wondering if there's a particular intention we can hold during full moon meditation today, especially when it's aligning with this special occasion of the Buddha Purnima. So I'm feeling that we may have answered that on some levels throughout the afternoon, because the intention is something from your heart. So it's something for something with your life. It could be, you know, something in your own self, because we're working with our own inner guru. So it's connecting to that and having that intention and then placing it like a seed. So I like to think of it like a sesame seed or a poppy seed as an intention. And as I said, that can be something of your choice, something personal for you, for your life. And then really feeling it and placing it in your meditation, in your heart. And then continue to water it, come back to nurture it. So it's a sankalpa. You're constantly coming back to that intention and reinforcing it and reinforcing it. As the moon cycles move, your intention will manifest. So I hope I've answered that one okay. Then we have one here. I want to be more authentic and true to myself. But in my family, it often feels like I need to keep the peace or make others happy. Isn't it important to please sometimes? How do I stay connected to my truth without causing conflict? Wow, that's, I think every woman that's ever been alive can really relate to that question. Thank you for asking that. I certainly can relate to it throughout my life. And yes, it is, I think it's important to maintain respect. That's always important. We don't want to hurt other people. But I think also it's very important to also be authentic to ourselves. So I've found throughout my life that, and it's taken me a long time to get to the point where I actually had the courage to step into that full authenticity, was that I would get retaliation or some kind of negative feedback from my family, husband, parents, that type of thing. And I found that I would just very kindly but very firmly state my case. And this is, I appreciate your input. I appreciate what you say, but this is something that is very dear to me and is calling me. And I need to follow this. This is my truth. I think being authentic is empowering. That's where empowerment lies. And when we are, always wanting to please others, and it's lovely to please others, but sometimes we don't always feel like it, and we're getting drained. We're getting, I call it having leaks, and there's leaks all over the place, and others are kind of tapping into you and sapping your energy out. And we kind of try to keep going, but maintaining strong boundaries, if you really don't feel like you want to do something, then just be very clear but very nice. Now, the thing is too, not everybody in our world is going to like us. And that's something that also is, it's not an easy thing to get through. But when you get to the point when you realize that if somebody doesn't respect your thoughts, your passions, your path, your decisions, your authenticity, your true self, if they don't respect that, if they don't like that, then, it's, do you really want someone like that close to you? It's about really maintaining that sense of self, but not in a hard, cruel way. But as you go through it and you meditate with it, you will develop automatically a stronger energetic field, a stronger force field that creates strong boundaries, and you can speak authentically from your heart. I think that's important. But also, always be respectful of others. We don't want to just go around hurting everybody by not respecting. We can always say things like, I really value your input and thank you for your advice, but I'm going to do this, or whatever it is, or I think this, or I feel this. I think is much better. So I hope that's helped you. We have another one here. Sometimes I wonder, is it harder for women to become enlightened? Have you ever felt that yourself, or met women who you feel are truly awakened? I've been feeling called to visit India, maybe to understand more. Okay, that's beautiful. And it is something interesting, very much so, in the Buddhist teachings, actually. And the Dalai Lama has also spoken on this. There was originally, very many thousands of years ago, a belief that women couldn't be enlightened. And so the goddess Tara, in her great wisdom and beauty and magnificence, I think it was she became the goddess Tara. It was it was a princess who was very, I don't know her name, sorry. She was very enlightened, very wise. And she was told by, you know, the holy men of the time that let's hope that next incarnation you'll be born as a man so that you can become awake, enlightened. And she vowed at that point that from then on she was going to be incarnated as a woman to show that until all women were enlightened, and to show that women can become enlightened. And that is one of the stories of Tara. There's several different stories of Tara, and that's one of them, that she's constantly devoted to women becoming enlightened. And yes, I absolutely believe that. I think that you know, it's just a time of it is a patriarchal world that we live in and have lived in for quite a long time, in many thousands of years now, and women have been really you know, not thought of to hold those positions, mainly as, you know, childbearing and homekeeping. And you know, that has its place. That was the role that was you know, that was seen at that time. But there's been many great women teachers. There's, you know, obviously Anandamayi Ma, there's Machik Labdron from Tibet. There's so many great teachers, and of course the deities themselves, you know, the Ishtas, Durga and Kali and the Dashamahavijas. All of the deities are feminine, the mass, you know, this powerful Shakti energy. So of course women can become enlightened, and I hope you do make it to India. I'm actually going in November, so and that you'll get some more inspiration there. Thank you. So we have acknowledge and appreciate the divine feminine and nurturing aura that you hold. I can feel it. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That's very beautiful. My first full moon fast is in progress today. Wonderful. Thank you for answering my question on the full moon fast earlier on Smukti community, and now explaining it further. Let's see how the rest of the evening unfolds. Grateful for walking this path, even if just one small step today. That's beautiful. Thank you. And I'm so grateful that you received something out of that. And it is a beautiful thing to do. I have to say that I've been fasting today also. I will eat after dark. It's getting quite dark here now. You can see the lights going. It's afternoon, late afternoon here now. So I have been fasting. I will eat this evening, but it is a beautiful thing to do, just to, there's something about the fasting that really elevates the meditation experience and the mindfulness. So I hope you get a beautiful experience out of your fast and continue. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed the meditation. Thank you. It was the first time joining something like this, and I felt very touched. Even though we were online, I could feel the energy of all the women, and I will carry this feeling with me in the days ahead. Oh, that's really touched me. I'm feeling teary now. That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And you're from Lisbon, which is amazing. That's brilliant. I'm on the Gold Coast in Australia. So it is wonderful to connect with you all around the world. It's so special. And I'm feeling quite emotional there. Thank you. So thank you very much. If there's no more questions, I would just like us to take a moment and feel that gratitude, and perhaps do the small visualization that I just mentioned before of the intention, the sankalpa, by placing your intention, coming into your mind and then placing it in your heart. So just close down your eyes as we close the session here, and feel into your heart center, the center of truth, chit, truth, chit, consciousness, sat, chit, ananda, sat, truth, chit, pure consciousness, and ananda, bliss. So in that heart center, place your intention, feel it, and come back to it. Come back to it this evening. Come back to it every day. Keep feeding your intention with your meditation. Watch it grow. Bring your hands together. Rub your palms briskly together. Bring them to stillness and just touch your eyes. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, release the hands over your face, your throat, back to your heart center, back to Namaskar. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you all so much for being here with me for this beautiful recording, and thank you to Smukti for hosting me and having me on the program and sharing so much love for you all, and have a divine Buddha Purnima. Namaste. Thank you. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.